If you were searching for an easy to apply system that brings you guaranteed success in freelancing, you are at the right video. Today, I will reveal my 4-step system that brought me to immense success over the last years and which can provide success for anybody that wants to start freelancing or wants to enhance his already started freelancing career. And trust me, this is working. This is basically exactly what I'm doing for years. And I am now one of the most successful freelancers in Germany, working with the biggest banks building financial apps. So let's get right into it. Okay, when looking at the system, it is basically separated within 4 levels. And in each level you are currently in, there will be specific tasks you need to focus on. So this makes the whole thing very easy because we can determine where you are currently based on what you have and what you already have done. And then you know exactly what you need to do at your current level and what you need to have to get to the next level. And at the end of this, you will be one of the most successful freelancers in your field. Okay. So when looking at these 4 levels, the first level is basically building a foundation. So this is the level for people that not already started freelancing or that are just starting freelancing. They need to lay a stable foundation. The next level is all about niching down. Okay, you cannot be a jack of all trades. That does not work in the current market. There is a very competitive market and there are less companies that are searching for many freelancers. So we need to niche down and improve our skills in that level to come to the next level, which is basically positioning as an expert in that specific niche we niche down in the level before. So when we have a specific niche, we want to be known as the #1 expert in that niche. So when a company searches for a freelancer, they will pick us. And the last level is all about finding the right clients for your current expertise and leveling up client by client to get to really high paying clients, which makes you one of the top tier freelancers. Level #1, building a foundation. And when we build a foundation, one of the most important things is your financial security, because without financial security, you will need the next contract, you will need the next client, which puts you into a very bad position, and your proposals and your talks with potential clients can end up sounding very desperate because you need it so bad. So definitely look to have a financial buffer for at least 6 months of living, so you have enough time to build your freelance brand without getting stressed. Which brings us to #2, which is your online presence. And that is very important. Many just start with that when they already quit their job. But you don't need to quit your job to work on your online presence. That is stuff you can already do in your current company or while you're a student. You can create a LinkedIn page. You can create your website. And all the other freelancing profiles, you don't have to put them on live. You can start building them and go to a professional photographer to take some nice pictures of yourself for your online profiles. This stuff you can already do before even starting freelancing, which makes it even cooler. And believe me, a good online presence is very important, especially in today's market. Which brings us to the last point, which is basically learning. And with learning, I mean specifically when building the foundation, when we are at level 1, we want to learn within our main skill. So you have some main skill with which you are starting freelancing. We not yet niche down where we apply that skill in a specific niche. We are just getting starting. We are laying the foundation, and within that laying of the foundation, while we create our financial security, we want to also practice and learn our main skill to later on be able to be the top tier freelancer in that niche. And yes, you don't need to be perfect, believe me, but just spend a bit time learning the skill better. For example, in mobile development, build a project by your own and bring it to the store. Many fixed employees never created an app from scratch and built it completely and brought it to the store. So this alone takes you ahead. Let's talk about level number 2, which is niching down and improving our skills. And when we niche down, we want to do two things. We want to find a branch and we want to find a niche. In my case, let's take it for my case, which is the branch financial institutions, so financial applications, and I want to niche down there, and I niche down within that branch. And what I did was I professionalized on creating mobile apps that are white labeled for financial banking apps. So what I did basically is learning mobile development with Flutter, which is already a cross-platform framework, and then I niched it down to white labeling to create one code base and deliver multiple applications with different brands from one code base. And then we can find a specific problem. So when niching down, you can focus on two things. Niche down on a specific problem. For example, what I did, create white labeled software solutions for banking, which is a task or a problem, or you can find a specific tool you can get an expert in, which I did in parallel to what I told you earlier with the white labeling. I found the software framework Flutter, which creates cross-platform mobile applications, and I positioned as an expert in that field through my online courses. I do only the one thing, mobile app creation with Flutter, and I do only the second thing, which is white labeled mobile applications with Flutter. And now I'm really niched down. And the whole purpose of that chapter is to learn to solve one thing really good. We really want to concentrate our energy, because if you're a jack of all trades, like I said earlier, your profession is not well defined and clients cannot find you via keywords. And oftentimes a company has a specific problem they want to solve and they search for the number one expert solving that one specific problem. So if your profiles are not niched down, they don't see you as expert. They would see me as a standard software developer. But when they read white labeled software solutions, banking systems, and Flutter, they know I'm the right fit. Which brings us to level 3, position as an expert. Now we found a niche. We found either a problem we can solve good, or we found a tool which we can be an expert in. And now we want to position as an expert. And position as an expert basically consists of few things. The one thing and the most important thing we want to focus on is build credibility. And how can we do that? Well, we can teach and coach others. So if I learn to solve a specific problem very good, or how to develop with a specific tool very good, I can teach others. And the trick here is you don't need to be an expert right away, but what you need is a bit of energy, because this will take a bit of energy. You want to create either posts or an online course or free value content on YouTube and teach others, because the trick here is once you create free value content, once you teach others in your specific niche, others will see you as an expert per default. It is not possible otherwise. They go online, they see your profiles, they see you teach others, you create online courses for Flutter development, for white labeled software solutions, for any other specific problems. If you're a designer, you create courses for how to create mobile app designs in Figma, for example, which is a tool for that. Then they will view you as an expert in that niche. And the last thing you can focus on and should focus on is, okay, now I position in that niche, I create some content where I teach others, how can I then build even more credibility? And that goes for easy certificates I can get in that niche. So many times you have a tool, a framework, or a specific problem, and for that specific thing, there are certificates out there you can very easily do with an online test or something like that, and you get them just to fill up your profile. It's all about credibility, it's all about proof of expertise, and you try to get some mini jobs or start 1 or 2 projects on your own to just prove your skills. So the whole chapter is all about, and you guessed it, create a new expert personal brand of yourself online. Means when people go online, they find you for a specific niche, a problem, or a tool, and they see you are an expert in that specific niche because you already teach others. You have number 1, 2, 3, 4 certificates. You already created that and that project on your own. And then the whole image of yourself gets very well defined and very professional. And that we need to get to high paying clients. And that is exactly what we need to get picked first when it comes to a client and a contract. Which brings us to the last chapter, which this all is about, but we need to go through these different levels to get there, which is basically finding high paying clients. And there are 3 very important things we need to keep track on here. The first thing we want to focus when we are on the level, hey, we are an expert in a niche, is now we need to get in contact. We need to build a network. So find companies, find meetups in your niche for that problem, for that tool. Find communities and engage in them. Get in contact with the right people. Get in the right databases for contracting companies. For example, I'm professionalized in building financial apps in Germany with Flutter, and there are specific contracting companies that only do the contracts with the biggest banks here in Germany, and I needed to get to know them, to even get to noticed by them, and to get into their database. They need to get to know me. So you really need to put a bit of research in there and network with the right people. And once you have a client, and even if it's not already the top tier, biggest name client, you want to look to over deliver on site. Why? Because you want to get referred. One of the strongest things when it comes to getting new clients or getting big, high paying clients is getting referred, because once a contract or a project gets listed online, that is already pretty late. So when it's online listed on a freelancing platform, every freelancer can basically see it. But before they list it, they go to the persons they already know or get referred from a friend. So when a big company needs some freelancer or some external company that does stuff for them now, they will ask people they know, hey, do you know somebody that is already very good in that niche? And they rather pick someone that is known to be good than someone completely new and list the project for everybody. So networking and over-delivering on the client side is very important to get referred and get clients in the future without even applying to projects. Yeah, and that is basically all we focus on the last level on our freelancing journey, which is basically selling ourselves and building a bigger and bigger portfolio client per client, and you will get bigger step by step because you've gone through the whole process. You build a foundation, you niche down, you are an expert in that one niche now, and you now do contracts client per client per client per client within that niche, and your expertise and your image within that niche will only rise by time. And that was already it. This is my 4-level freelancing success system, and this is all I'm teaching about on this channel. So if you like the content, if you find it insightful, please leave a subscription. And if you want to know how to double your income today, watch this video next.